What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Blacksmith Podcast where we forge men. We are about to finish up with our Boxabl earnings call. So let's get right to it. This is the fifth part. If you haven't seen the other four, you are completely missing out. Go back and watch it. It is on the channel. Just look at videos. You'll see it. Here we go. Hold on. Let me get this guy. Oh, before we start, this guy right here, this guy is Martin Costas. He is the Chief Financial Officer or CFO. He handles the money, and so he is doing the call. And right now, he is taking questions.
Your company materials purchased in the USA or do you import? So I have a portion, which is a small portion coming from overseas, uh, but we also have alternative products, so we don't have a huge dependency. Obviously, sometimes alternative products are higher priced. We hope that we resolve all this tariff, and that is not going to translate into pricing, but we are keeping a very close track on our cost.
All right, so right here, somebody just asked him if they manufacture all their parts or if they have any coming from overseas. He said, yeah, they have some coming from overseas, but it's a very small footprint. He hopes the tariff situation gets handled. Very simple question, very simple answer.
When will baby be available to purchase? Right now, you can reserve baby. Baby is under the process of being approved in DMV. I cannot answer because again, it's government. I don't know how long it may take. Sometimes they do days, sometimes months. So I'm waiting on that.
All right, he's talking about the baby box. The baby box, remember, is built to RV code, not house code. So it's a little different. It has to be approved by the DMV because this is your $20,000 option for a tiny home. I think it's like 260 something square feet or 291 somewhere in there. And it's on wheels. It's on wheels. So he said they need it to get approved by the DMV first.
Okay. Jeffrey, what is the dilution potential based on the capital raise option Boxabl is exploring? I cannot speak for what the Boxabl will do on the future. There is always a risk in companies like our to see some dilution. The trade on the dilution actually needs to be, I think, if in the future we see something like that, the trade is that money that you get through the dilution needs to translate into an operational performance. So typically, you should be able to compensate any dilution over delivering the performance expectation for the operation, meaning revenue, EBITDA, and so on. Um, when do you anticipate the factory to be producing casitas at full capacity? Uh, I I don't know when they're going to be at full capacity because what is happening is you have dealers and you have a business to business customers that they are they are actually working on their land. So for example, we recently signed a contract for 90 plus 60 units with a glamping company. These units are going to 5 states. They do 30 units type of communities for glamping. I know that in South Carolina, they are going through the approval process with the city, and they are very close to the city, and they say they are great, but it has been a couple of months. After they get that, they will start to work on the land prep, on the utilities, and so on. So I hope we were talking about 6 months. Maybe we're talking about 12. I don't know how long it takes to do each development.
All right, that was key. All right, so someone asked a very smart question. So they have some very educated investors or people very interested in investing in Boxable. So he asked him when they are going to have their casita production at full capacity. He said he does not know, but he then gave us a little snippet of the direction they're going: glamping, glamour camping. He said in South Carolina, they actually have, I think he said something like 90 plus something units. I missed the number. I was taking notes here. But they're going to create glamping communities. And he said it could take anywhere from maybe 6 months to 12 months. He doesn't know. But glamping communities, imagine that. So that's going to be part of the direction they go.
and that is going to drive my production.
And then that.
Made in America benefit, absolutely a lot of benefit from Made in America. This week we're traveling overseas to talk with some overseas factories. You wouldn't believe the immense attention that we're getting from overseas companies that they do not similar, because actually I don't think there is nothing similar on the market, but they do manufacturing houses that they cannot get into US. And pretty much is the permitting approval is really, really difficult to get, and it's a barrier for competition.
All right. So did you hear that? So he said you wouldn't believe the amount of attention we're getting from overseas. I would believe it. First of all, I will tell you a little story within this video. I don't want to make it too long, but when I went to Subic Bay, Philippines, back in September of 2013, when I was on my first deployment, I saw my first tin home. My first tin home, right? TIN, right? The thin sheet metal that's very flexible. And it made me very sad because I realized then, and I guess I always knew, but man, you don't really know how privileged you are when you live in America versus when you go overseas. People really don't have money, right? And so if they get approved and they get a company country like that to buy off on even the baby boxes at 20K a piece, they will do extraordinarily well, and the people get a cheap place to live that is actually pretty glamorous. If you're a single person and you don't need much, I think it's actually a very sweet deal, and you can own it, right? So he also told you that they had a hedge on the market because it's hard for any of their manufacturers overseas to get over here because of permits. This company's going places, folks.
I cannot anticipate any IPO year, unfortunately. So I am seeing lots of advertising from China. I already did that one, so let me go up again.
All right, so he said he doesn't know when they're going to IPO or go public, initial public offer.
How will tariff affect pricing? So tariff, we're not anticipating any effect on pricing, uh, but it's a good question, right? When you go into an inflationary economy, unfortunately, everything goes up. So we may need to do it. I hope we don't. We keep, what I can tell you is we keep a very deep, analysis on hand weekly to see how those costs are moving.
All right, so that's tariffs. So tariffs are even affecting them, but yeah, you heard him.
Website, very confusing process on the website. That's another great question, Sandra. So yes, I agree. We continuously see room to improve in our website. I'm not going to say something different. We recently hired two web developers in house to improve that user experience. And the work that I saw, we are working in parallel with a potential new layout. I personally think looks awesome.
So he talked in the first video. Again, if you did not see it, go back and watch the first video. It was a part of my live Discord on Saturdays, right? But he said that they were hiring talent, talent, talent. He mentioned it a couple of times. There are opportunities out there. Like, if I don't know, if I was a software engineer, if I was a website designer or something like that, if I was a cybersecurity analyst, if I was in IT, I would take my skills here and apply to Boxabl. They're up and coming. They're a private company. They'll probably even give you shares as part of your employee packages or your benefit or your compensation package before it IPOs. Who knows?
Will you partner with Europe? Yes, we receive, and indeed we have more than 3,700 people reaching us from overseas with opportunities. Uh, you you may run into the risk of attacking too many markets, and obviously you are on a cost control situation. You don't want to burn your cash with no reason. So yes, I think the easier way to answer how we will grow international is we have on plans a factory. Indeed, we have like three different factories that we can do. One of them was created for an application with the Department of Energy for a loan with 25,000 units. But we have a factory engineer for 5,000 units that we believe is a sweet spot as a product to go international with that factory, as well as national in different states. That will be the what we believe today. That could be the second step after we fill the production in Las Vegas.
All right, so right there, now I have to pause this very quickly because he is firing off these answers. They asked him, was he looking to expand into Europe? He said yes. They have about 3,700 people that are interested over there. But they're being cautious not to expand too quickly, is what it is. And they have factories in different states, and they're being very measured on how they're going to attack their expansion overseas.
Are the two founders going to be allowed to sell any other shares in advance of the company financing its long-term capitalization plan? Certainly, I cannot answer that question, but I am a CFO. I have experience. Typically, uh, you know, when you get liquidity to the company, founders they can sell today on a private side. I didn't see any interest from them to do that today. If the company will go public, typically what you do is there is a lockup period. So during that period, companies, typically the founders, they cannot sell, and after that period, you start lock them. In a companies have different strategies. Sometimes use price of the stock. Other ones they will use the percentage uh, of what they have per month and so on. What I can say to that is what I can see is that our founders today they are showing no interest on selling their shares.
So this guy obviously knows the stock market game. He's saying that, and he said it twice. He said it once in the beginning, once right there in the end. The founders of the company, the mega investors that they may have had, or the majority owners, is probably who he's calling the founders. They have no interest in selling their shares while the company is private. Now, once the company IPOs and goes public, initial public offering, right? He said he knows how it works. A lot of times people will liquidate their shares, and sometimes they do it in steps, but he knows how it works. He understands. But again, he was the chief financial officer for Honeywell. So, I mean, this guy knows the game. Oh, also, he said when it IPOs, yeah, there's a lockout period where you can't sell the shares in that lockout period. If you want to know more about that, just research that. This guy knows what he's talking about, though.
Uh, okay, I think we are about to be at 12. And the last one that I see is Jeffrey saying that he's having some appreciation for the webinar. So thank you for that. That's important for us. We get busy very easy in Boxabl. So for us, sometimes it's we need to pay attention that you guys are there, and I apologize if we are not providing feedback as you know often as you want, and also if we cannot give any future looking statement because we're not allowed by regulations. Okay, we will keep you posted. Thanks a lot. Very, very nice to see all the interest. Thank you.
All right. That's it, folks. The Boxable earnings call. Let me tell you something. I'm very grateful to channels like Earn Your Leisure. They have made it very, very cool, hip, whatever you want to say, to talk about financial literacy. And you have people who are either learning very fast, either copying what they do, or they're actually just coming out of the woodwork with what they know about financial literacy. Listen, this right here is how you follow a company almost from its inception, but especially public while it's before it goes I mean, private before it goes public. And this is how you do it. If you're going to be part owner of this company because you bought shares, you need to be interested in this. When they do another earnings call, I am on this. I'm on this like white on rice. I am on this like cool in the Arctic. I don't know if that one works, but you get what I'm saying. That guy's name is Martin Costas, and he is the chief financial officer. Let me know what you guys think about the video in the comments. Let me know what you think about the whole series as a whole, because we'll break down more earnings calls like this. Please like and share this video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, folks. Have a good evening.